Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's Marvin speaking. We're going to get straight into a video, a deep dive in the Jay Slater case with Hayley Comet, and she's talking about Rocky. Let's get straight into this.
I don't, like, Lola made a video of me saying, oh, look at her sat in a box with them and she's fine with them. And I'm like, and that's the reason why he'll answer my questions and he won't answer yours, because I've been respectful, I've treated him like a human being. I don't know if he did anything wrong or not. I don't know if he's lying about some other criminal behaviour so he don't want to get involved. I don't know, but I want to get to the bottom for Jay, and I wanted to have answers for the family, so I don't want to just alienate him. If that would make sense, right? I don't know, Miss Kissy, I don't know what the situation was. Not anymore, Sam. She's made lots of nasty videos about me today. She's decided, she said she wants to team up with Tenerife Tom, so it shows how quickly people switch, right? Seeing the inside, I don't know, Kay. Now, for normal people, yeah, say like a girl like me, right, I love reading, right, I love nature, and I love being outside, yeah, like I love all that stuff. So if you said to me, do you want to, yeah, Lizzie, she made like 4 horrible videos for Lizzie, because I blocked her yesterday because she was running backwards and forwards between different creators, and I just haven't got time for it, like, I haven't, like, why do people get weird as soon as I say, well,
Look, I'm like this. I'm not one for running down different creators, but like I said, if Hayley Comet wants to come back and talk about the Jay Slater case, she can, because there's still many sleeves talking about it. Yeah, there's a lot that's tailed off, but there's a lot that are still talking about the case. I just think we should be supporting each other. If she can get more information out of ayub, then that's a good thing. I think we need anything now. You know, I think a lot of us who's followed this case know there's a lot of suspicious activity and ayub is covering for somebody. But like I said, you know, we've got an inkling in that he's involved in some way, but we cannot 100% prove it. This is my thought in why we need people still talking to her. Like Hayley Comet was talking to Lucy, messaging Lucy, and Lucy felt comfortable in messaging Hayley Comet. And like I said, what we got from it is that Lucy wanted to be 100 miles away from the case, and she didn't really commit to her answers fully.
They want to cover the Jay Slater case again, you will get threatened and want to act like gatekeep the case, when actually up until this point when I've not been covering it and I'm getting new followers and telling people to follow up your new account and stuff, I've not been a problem. But it is what it is. She's a nobody really. Yeah, the Airbnb, for some of us who just like chilled stuff, we would like to go to the Airbnb, right? All that scenery, the mountains, the hiking. Yeah, Jack, it's one of my mods set up for me in case I need it. Reading a book in that little corner, that little cafe, we would love that. But somebody like Ayub and Rocky, judging by the Instagram stories and everything they've done, all of these different hotels they go to, all of these different parties, the girls, the Courvoisier, the champagne, the swimming pools, the gyms at these facilities, that's where they're going. It was a very odd choice. Now we know that Ayub worked at Potter Paper's Smoke Cafe on the Strip. He had worked there for a time, he was the manager there. He had friends there. If he was going there last minute, he had friends he could stay with, he knew local hotels, he had a lot of stuff there, a lot of places right on the Strip. Why did he go an hour out of Tenerife? Why? Why? Why booked in a false name? Why did they book it just before they got there? There was no plan. And likewise, if he was up there for business, just say that. Just say that.
This is what I've said. Just say it, because it stops people thinking, yes, it was for business, and people would have known the cue. And if Jay was going back there and a part of it, then fair enough. We've got our answers. But they're protecting every avenue. It's like you knock on the door, and this is why people are so suspicious and still trying to find out more answers on this case, even if it's snippets.
Nobody cares about the other stuff. I don't care if you were selling Mexican rugs. I don't care if you were selling...
I think it is. I think I do care, but I think, like I said, There was one video with a kid, young guy, maybe 19, 20, off his face and in the club, and it was showed a few times after Jay went missing, and it was Ayub in Tenerife with this kid, and he was just off his face, and you could see Ayub sort of laughing at him and stuff. I thought it was really, really strange and weird at the end of the day. And like I said, I'm here to sort of put this out to youngsters to be careful in getting mixed up with people like that, because it could mean your life. Do you know what I mean?
Sombreros. I don't care if you had knockoff sun visors. I don't care what you were selling, because if it means that a young boy has died, that's what we need to know. Is what happened to him. Did you ask that question? I haven't really asked him that question yet, because I was really trying to get him to do an interview with me, and I was going to give him. I said to him, "I'll give you the questions beforehand. I've got very clear questions I'd like to ask you." And I did say the last time I did a live, which I think he heard, I said, if you won't do the interview, I'll make a video. I'll make videos every single day of questions I've got for you. Because I'll still ask you the questions, whether you answer them or not. I'm going to publicly ask you the questions, whether you want me to or not. Really, is there anyone who came on who told you I've got you back over the case? No, it's Truth Seeker. Yeah. So I said I'm going to ask the questions anyway. But I'm going to do the interviews tomorrow. We're going to replay all the interviews, like Lucy's, Jay's mum's, Brad's. We're going to do Ayub's. We're going to do all the interviews we've got. Is that cool with some? Yeah, is that one as well. We're going to play all the interviews, and then we are going to between us decide like all the questions are left to answer in the Jay Slater case, and I'm going to start.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see whether he answers them, and I think it depends on what questions they are. He probably will look at them. Whether he says something, I'm not so sure. Whether he'll swerve those questions, we've seen it time and time again. And like I said, he's been on a few podcasts and lives over basically different channels, basically YouTube and TikTok, and yet we haven't really found anything new. We found bits by his bits and bobs by good friend Saul of Jay Slater. At the end of the day, that made Rocky feel uncomfortable, but that was it. But like I said, what makes me think there's other people trying to protect him are the people that are not, who come on these shows, on Rocky's and Ayub shows, and not really asking them questions. They're just going along with it just to basically waste our time.
Put them on blast. Why did you take them up to the Airbnb? Why didn't you book it in your name? Why did you go there when you could have stayed in a 5-star hotel with the money you've got? Why did you do this? Why did you like all this? Did you ask him questions in Simon Spector? I've been speaking to him today and yesterday, because I was just like, why won't you do the interview? And then I asked him if he'd seen the new documents. I said, have you seen the new documents with Lucy, where she said she was at your Airbnb that day? He said, I don't know why she would have said that. And I said, well, why would she have said that? And he said, you tell me. Like, he said, I don't know what she said, do I? And I'm like, aren't you curious that, police statement, she told people that she had been asleep at yours when Jay left? I don't get it.
That is a good question. But like I said, he isn't going to elaborate on that, because like I said, he would have to go back on everything he said and she said before this came out.
I don't get it, Dream Team, and I've still not heard. I don't know if you've watched Wax's video. Does Wax's video tonight go into Ayub telling that? Because from what my mod said, they said, from what my mod said, he alluded that he was going to make a next episode about what Ayub had said. So I don't know if it's even out there yet. So Alison, a couple of days ago, a document was leaked from the civil guard that basically said that she had been asleep at the Airbnb when she woke up. Another cake! Another cake! Oh, thank you for the cake. She had been asleep at the Airbnb when she woke up. Jay had already gone for a walk. Which, to be fair, would explain why her ping is so close to his, because she's at the fucking...
Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre at the end of the day. And like I said, I believe Lucy was there a lot earlier than what she said, and like I said, could have well stayed the night. I believe what happened to Jay was definitely the Saturday going into the Sunday, and that things were manipulated. But like I said, people have got their own views, they've got their own narratives. I've got my theories, and I've gone through many private messages, information, and I always believe this case was very, very suspicious, and Jay was murdered, and it wasn't an accident, but it took a lot of powerful people to make it look like that as well. And with the tabloids saying, oh, he fell, they were given a narrative from the Guardia Civil, and they put her out there, and they were hoping, the Spanish authorities, that basically this case would be put to bed. But months and months later, we're still talking about it and looking for justice for Jay. I think it's good that Hayley's on the case. She may even get ayub to talk, which we want more, and answer these questions, and may be able to basically get on her show. His ego may get the better of him. I think he'll end up doing it. I really do. Let me know what you think, people.